The world is divided into two categories: the hunters and the hunted. You have felt this your entire life. You walk into a room and you feel small. You see certain people command instant respect, and you wonder how they keep doing it. They get the promotions, they get the access, they get the power, and you grind harder. You try to be more valuable, you try to be indispensable, but you are overlooked. You are left wondering why your effort isn't enough, why your loyalty isn't rewarded. Here is the brutal truth that nobody wants to tell you. Power does not care about your effort. It only cares about your positioning. You have been trying to connect with powerful people by being nice to them. But powerful people do not need more nice people around. They need leverage. They need solutions. They need strategic value. If you want to enter the rooms where real power lives, you have to kill the part of you that begs for recognition, that seeks to please everybody. You have to stop waiting for someone to discover you. Niccolo Machiavelli wrote The Prince over 500 years ago, not as a guide for tyrants, but as a survival manual for reality. He understood that human nature, at its core, is driven by self-preservation, ego, and need. If you ignore this, you will always be replaceable. If you master it, you become the one they cannot function without. In the next few minutes, we are going to destroy the myths you've been told about power. We are going to explore Machiavelli's 11 ruthless principles of influence. These are not networking hacks. These are psychological leverage points. By the end of this, you will no longer look at a powerful person and see someone unreachable. You will see a system, and you will know exactly how to enter that system. But be warned, once you understand how power really works, you can never go back to being at other people's mercy. Before we go any further, understand this. Everything you are about to hear is useless unless you commit to learning how power actually works. So, if you really want to understand the rules of power instead of being crushed by them, then subscribe to this channel. This is not motivation. This is not self-help. This is a long-term education in power. Leave a comment below saying I choose power, not for me, for yourself. That single action draws a line in the sand. Now let's begin. Law 1. Never outshine the master. The first mistake you make is trying to prove yourself. You meet someone powerful and your instinct takes over. You want to show them how smart you are, how capable, how much you bring to the table. You think this earns respect. It does not. It breeds resentment. Powerful people are often the most insecure. Their entire identity is built on being the most important person in the room. If you shine too bright, you do not look like an asset. You look like a competitor. Machiavelli warned us, never appear better than your superior. When you eclipse them, you trigger their survival instinct. They will remove you, not because you are incompetent, but because you are a threat to their position. So what do you do instead? Dim your brilliance. Make them look smarter. When you have an insight, frame it as a question that allows them to arrive at the answer. Feed their ego. This is not weakness. This is strategy. By making them feel superior, you lower their guard, you become safe. And once you are safe, you are allowed inside. While they are basking in their own glory, you are quietly learning their systems, their weaknesses, their dependencies. Let them have the spotlight. You take the position. Law 2. Conceal your intentions. A predictable person is a controllable person. If I know what you want, I know how to manipulate you. If I know you want money, I can buy you. If I know you want status, I can flatter you. Most people wear their desperation on their sleeve. They approach powerful people and their body language screams, I need something from you. This repels power instantly. To connect with the powerful, you must be unreadable. Machiavelli advised, keep your ambitions hidden. Be mysterious when you enter the room. Do not reveal your agenda. Talk about everything except what you want. Talk about their interests, their philosophy, their vision. anything that humanizes the interaction. Make them wonder why you are there. Mystery creates intrigue. When they cannot figure out what you want, they become curious. They start to chase the answer. They start to chase you. The less they know about your motives, the more leverage you hold in every negotiation. Law 3. Appeal to self-interest, never to mercy. This is where good people lose. You need help. You need an opportunity. You need someone to take a chance on you. So you go to a powerful person and you tell them your story. You talk about how hard you've worked. You talk about how much you deserve a break. You appeal to their kindness, their fairness, their humanity, and they might smile. They might nod, but they will do nothing. Why? Because mercy is a burden. Powerful people are drowning in requests. If they helped everyone who deserved it, they would have nothing left. Machiavelli was clear. It is better to be needed than loved. In the context of influence, this translates directly. Do not ask for favors, offer transactions. Disguised as partnerships, find out what they need. Do they have a problem that keeps them awake? Do they have a competitor they want to crush? Do they have a weakness they are hiding? Position yourself as the solution to their pain. When you speak to them, do not talk about your needs. Talk about their problems. I noticed you are struggling with X. I have a way to eliminate that problem and save you time and money. Now you are not a beggar. You are a strategic partner. Self-interest is the only language the powerful understand fluently. Speak it, and doors will open. Law 4. The art of strategic absence. We live in a world of over-availability. You answer messages instantly. You say yes to every request. You are always accessible. You think this shows dedication. It actually signals desperation. Economics applies to human interaction. Scarcity creates value. If you are always available, you are common. Common things are worthless. Powerful people respect time because it is the only thing they cannot buy more of. If you give your time freely, you are telling them it has no value. Machiavelli knew that a leader who is seen too often becomes ordinary. You must learn to withdraw. Be fully engaged when you are present. Make them feel like the only person in the world, and then disappear. Do not answer immediately. Do not be available tomorrow. Have a mission that does not revolve around them. This does two things. First, it proves you are a person of value with other options. Second, it creates an open loop in their mind. They start wondering where you are, what you are doing, who else you are with. Your absence occupies space in their thoughts. And when you do return, your presence is treated as a privilege, not an obligation. Law 5. The mirror of Narcissus. Everyone is in love with themselves. Even the most humble-seeming leader is obsessed with their own worldview. They crave validation of their reality. Most people try to connect by talking about themselves. I did this. I think that. This is white noise. To connect with power, you must become a mirror. Reflect their image back to them, but slightly enhanced. If they are fast and aggressive, you speed up. You match their intensity. If they are slow and methodical, you become contemplative. You match their rhythm, match their vocabulary. If they use military metaphors, you use military metaphors. If they use sports language, you use sports language. This is not just mimicry. It is neurological alignment. When you mirror someone effectively, their subconscious brain labels you as same. This person is like me, therefore I can trust them. You bypass their logical defenses and speak directly to their primal brain. People do not want to be challenged. They want to be confirmed. Be the confirmation of their brilliance. When they look at you, let them see the best version of themselves. They will become addicted to your presence because you. Law 6. Become the gatekeeper of information. In the old world, land was power. In the modern world, information is power. But not just any information. Secret information. Powerful people are often isolated. They are surrounded by yes men who tell them what they want to hear. They are starving for truth, starving for real intelligence from the ground. If you can be the person who brings them valuable, unfiltered intelligence, you become indispensable. You become their eyes and ears. Did you hear what the competition is planning? I found a flaw in your system that nobody is telling you about. There is a shift coming that you need to see. Do not be a gossip. Be an intelligence broker. Curate information that protects them or gives them an advantage. When you trade in secrets, you elevate your status from outsider to insider. You become a co-conspirator, and there is no bond stronger than the bond between co-conspirators. But a warning: never reveal all your sources. Maintain the monopoly on your information channels. If they can get the intelligence without you, they do not need you. Keep the source hidden. Deliver the value. Law 7. The law of the useful enemy. Nothing bonds two people faster than a shared enemy. Psychologists call this in-group, out-group bias. We like people who hate the same things we hate. If you want to connect with a powerful person, find out what they despise. Do they hate incompetence? Do they hate the old guard? Do they hate a specific rival or ideology? Align yourself with that hatred. Validate their frustration. I cannot believe how backwards this industry has become. It is exactly what you have been saying. When you validate their enemies, you validate their struggle. You validate their mission. You are saying, I see the battle you are fighting, and I am here to fight alongside you. Be careful not to be purely negative. It must be righteous anger. We are the ones who see clearly in a world of blindness. This creates an us versus them dynamic, and in the trenches of that shared war, deep loyalty is forged. Law 8. Play to their fantasy. Machiavelli knew that people do not live in reality. They live in their fantasies of who they believe they are. The ruthless CEO wants to see himself as a caring leader. The chaotic entrepreneur wants to see herself as a disciplined visionary. The insecure politician wants to see himself as a hero. Your job is to identify their fantasy and play the supporting role. If they want to be the wise mentor, you become the eager student. Ask them for guidance. Let them teach you. Let them feel wise. If they want to be the rebel, you become the loyal accomplice. If they want to be the king, you become the trusted advisor. Do not force them to face their reality. Reality is painful. That is why they have built walls around themselves. If you are the one person who supports their self-image, they will protect you fiercely. Because if you leave, the fantasy crumbles. You become the mirror that holds up their ideal self. This sounds manipulative because it is. But remember, we are not talking about friendship. We are talking about power. And power is a performance. Learn your role. Play it flawlessly. Law 9. Mastery of emotional alchemy. Powerful people carry enormous stress. They bear the weight of organizations, employees, investors, and millions of dollars. Their internal world is chaos. Most people add to that chaos. They bring problems. They bring drama. They bring anxiety. To become untouchable, you must be the calm in their storm. When they are frantic, you are steady. When they are angry, you are composed. You must learn to absorb their chaos and reflect back clarity. I understand the problem. Here is the solution. It is handled. Those 3 words, it is handled, are the most seductive words you can speak to someone drowning in responsibility. You take weight off their shoulders. You become a sanctuary. They will start craving meetings with you, not because of business, but because of how you make them feel. You make them feel in control. You make them feel safe. In a world of fire, be the water. If you can lower their stress, you can raise your price. Law 10. Assume formlessness. Machiavelli praised the fox for its ability to adapt. Bruce Lee said, "Be water, the rigid break, the flexible survive." When dealing with power, you cannot have a fixed identity. You must be adaptable to every situation. Some days you need to be aggressive. Some days you need to be humble. Some days you lead. Some days you follow. Do not get attached to one version of yourself. If you insist on being yourself, you will clash with people who do not fit your rigid mold. Formlessness is protection. If you have no fixed shape, you cannot be attacked. Adapt to the culture of the person you are connecting with. If they are formal, you are formal. If they are casual, you are casual. Remove all friction. Make it effortless for them to absorb you into their world. The perfect infiltrator looks exactly like the natives. Blend in completely so you can stand out when it matters. Law 11. Create dependence. This is the ultimate Machiavellian principle. Make yourself necessary to those above you. If they can replace you with a job posting, you are vulnerable. You must weave yourself into the fabric of their success. Find a task they hate, but that is critical to their operation, and master it. Take ownership of a relationship they cannot afford to lose. Hold the keys to a system only you understand. Become the bridge between them and something they desperately need. If you are the bridge, they cannot burn you. Do not teach them how to do what you do. Keep the expertise exclusive. The more they rely on you for their peace of mind, the more power you accumulate. You want them to wake up at 3 a.m. and think, "What would I do if they were gone?" Once you achieve that thought, in their mind, you have won. You can ask for the raise. You can ask for equity. Because you are no longer an employee. You are an essential organ, and nobody cuts out their own heart. Take a breath. Let those laws settle into your mind. I know what you are thinking. This sounds cold. This sounds calculating. This sounds manipulative. It is. But look around you. Look at the world you are living in. Look at the structures of your company, your government, your society. Do you think they were built on fairness? Do you think the people at the top got there by being nice? By waiting their turn? Or did they learn these laws and use them ruthlessly? You have a choice right now. You can pretend the world runs on merit and kindness. You can keep hoping that hard work will be enough. Or you can accept that power has rules, and those rules are learnable. Machiavelli did not create these dynamics, he simply exposed them. He gave the common person a manual that the elite had been using in secret for centuries. This video is your manual, but a manual is worthless if you do not use it. Here is what I need you to do. If this video changed the way you see power, if you felt that uncomfortable moment of recognition, then you need to take action right now. First, subscribe to this channel, because this is just the beginning. I am building a complete library on power dynamics, influence architecture, and strategic positioning that nobody else is teaching. Second, leave a comment below, telling me which law hit you hardest. I read every single comment, and your comment tells the algorithm that this information needs to reach more people. Third, watch the next video immediately, because now that you have seen the laws, you need to learn how to execute them without destroying yourself in the process. The powerful are not going to hand you a seat at the table. You have to take it. And now you know exactly how. The game has not changed. You have just been playing without knowing the rules. Now you know them. What you do next will determine everything.